All right, welcome to week 1, day 4. Now, we've done sort of a tempo of lower, upper, right? So we've covered squats, now we've done chest and kind of activating a lot of the upper body, and we've done lunges. Now we're back to upper. Now, one of the key things is obviously your back when it comes to your upper body. However, with most pull exercises, they do tend to be a little bit more difficult to do at home. Now, if you are lucky enough that you have a pull-up bar or you have any sort of area where you can grip and you can pull yourself up, then that would be an amazing workout to do. However, some of us aren't so lucky. So, how can we do things to still work out our back without losing gains or losing that emphasis? Because the back is very, very important. I said this from the beginning that this is going to be something that you can do at home without any equipment. However, when it comes to the back, you will need additional resistance because there isn't a way to do a pull workout unless you have some form of bar or something like that. But here is a solution. You can use a bag, and I'm talking about any sort of bag that you have lying around. Me, I'm going to use a canvas bag. Now, just a simple bag, and all we do is we fill it up with something that's heavy, right? And what I'm going to do is fill them up with bottles filled with water. Now, you can use anything that you want, just to add resistance, because that's what it's there for. So, we've got our piece of equipment, right? And you can use anything that's got handles just to make it a little bit easier. Now we've got that there, so let me just cover a few other points because I am going to say this with all workouts, that there are 3 key things to think about. Now this is actually the 3rd thing, so let me leave that there. So the first is your form, right? The second is speed, and the 3rd is resistance. So let's talk about form. The thing with your back, all movement within your back is a pulling movement. But you can use very, very simple things to help simulate that and help you get the exercise that you want. So with a bag, we can do row workouts just by simply stepping over them, okay? Stand next to the bag in the same way that you do your squat, right? You've got most of your weight on your heels, okay? And pick it up as if you were doing a squat. This way, you will make sure that your lower back is protected, you're not causing any strain, okay? No matter how light that weight is, it is a good habit to get into because as you kind of progress, and if you're then back at the gym, then you're not doing things to hurt your back. Just get down as if you would with a squat and pick up the bag, doing the work with your legs, right? Then, push your bum back, okay? Get those glutes back and lower yourself slightly. Now, what you're doing is almost a flowing movement in order to work your back. Now, the way that it works, as you know, there is an eccentric portion of that contraction and a concentric. What you want to do is once you've lifted that bag up, get to the concentric portion here, and at this point, what you're doing is almost trying to squeeze your elbows together, hold that contraction, and then slow your eccentric portion out. Stretch that back, and then back to the starting position. Now this will work not just your lats, but also your lower back. And that's why you have to be careful because that hold is putting pressure on your back as well. So make sure that you're doing a controlled movement. And again, doing that tempo of 3 seconds in the eccentric portion and 2 in the concentric portion. So as gravity is pulling that bag down, you're fighting against it and then back with the 2 seconds. So 3 seconds down, 2 seconds up. All right, one more point in terms of your form is your hand placement and movement. Now, whenever it comes to a pull exercise, in fact, even with a push exercise, what I find is really, really effective in terms of getting that mind-muscle connection is actually to have your thumb on the outside of the ring. So you're almost having it flat like this so that you're using the muscle rather than worrying too much about your grip. So you're pulling and getting all of that resistance on your back rather than activating your biceps to come in and help. So just try and not focus too much on activating the bicep and just concentrating on bringing that bag from almost a neutral grip position like this around to a flat position. So it goes from here, bringing it around and squeezing. So you're almost going from here to here. So it does a slight twist and it really just focuses all of the tension on the back and focusing on the lat so that you're not trying to activate too much of your bicep when you're doing this movement. So try it out. Start in this position and slowly bring it up and turn and squeeze. Because when you start pulling with your thumb like that, like grip like this, you're starting to pull on your arms rather than really focusing on your back. So it's kind of a more of a conscious thing because all you want is that mind-muscle connection. And in order to get that, I find that if you actually have your thumb on the outside, so if you're gripping something that's a lot thicker, which you normally would if it was a bar, but if you were gripping something thicker, if you've got a thicker bag, just try and get your thumb on the outside, or if it's more comfortable, just eliminate your thumb and keep your arms straight, your hands straight. And then you're simply going from a neutral position and bringing it back like this. Yeah? And trying to get it as close to your chest as possible. Because what you're trying to do is you're trying to bring this back as far as you can so that your lats can contract back there, and then hold that contraction and you just stretch that eccentric portion out. So then you stretch that muscle out. So what we'll do, as we do with the other exercises, is put 1 minute on the clock, pick up the bag, and see if we can make that tempo and hit at least 10 to 12 reps. Remember, you're breathing out when you're pulling that in, that concentric portion, and then 3 seconds breathing in when you're fighting gravity for that thing to go down. All right? Let's do this. Let's go. Now with that, you'll already be able to gauge that third point, which is the resistance. Now if that is too light for you and you were able to get 30, then add a bit more weight, add some more resistance in there, get some more things in that bag. And again, in the same way, if it was too much for you and you're really struggling, just take a little bit off, pour a bit of water out. So remember now, what we're doing is we're doing 30, we're taking 5 seconds rest, 20, 5 seconds rest, 10, 5 seconds rest, 5, and then you take another 5 seconds and we bring it all the way down, but with just a pause. So maybe 1 second if you need to, and then once you start failing, you can start taking a bit of a longer rest if you need to, but we just want to really push it out. All right, so here we go, 30, let's go. How low you are in terms of your body really just depends on you, okay? Just keep the form and just stay there, regardless of where you are, rather than kind of moving back and forth. 5 seconds rest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And go again. Alright, 5 more seconds. Here we go, 10. Come on. 1. Five more. 1, 2, 3. Let's go. All right, just take 5 seconds, maybe a little bit more just to stretch your lower back because you should be feeling it pretty much everywhere. And if you need to, maybe grab some water and then just get that breath in. Just want to keep focusing on the breathing. Now, try to rest as limited amount as possible. 1 second, just to pause if we need to. And it's 5, 10, 20, 30. Here we go. All right, just 30 to go, come on. Home stretch. Let's do it. Just pause if you need to and keep going. Keep going. 10 more. The beauty of this is it really doesn't matter what's in there, how much is in there, because the only thing about you that cares about what's in there and what that weight is your ego. So you've just completely removed it and you're focusing just on that movement, on that contraction, and just feeling it. Oh, 5 more, come on. And again, it's not over. That was just round 1. If you're a beginner, you've got 3 more to go. Intermediate, it's 4. For someone who's an expert, it's 5. So wherever you fall in that, that's where you want to go. Actually gets a lot more out of you than you would think. And that's the beauty of it, you know. You think, oh, working out at home, how are you going to be able to get what you need to? But the fact of the matter is, when you're at the gym, all you're worrying about is how much weight you're putting in. What weight is it supposed to be? Here, it takes away all of that. And all you're thinking about is, how can I get the most out of this workout right now? Regardless of what I have near me. I mean, we're using a bag, you know, with some things in it. Don't know how much it weighs. Doesn't fucking matter how much it weighs. Am I doing what I need to? Am I getting enough out of it? And that's it. And just focusing on that contraction, focusing on that movement, making sure the muscle is working the way it needs to and to the effort that it needs to, and that's it.